hello, people. Gee, what the hell? Hold on, wait a minute. What okay. I don't know what I. Hey girl. Hey girl. What's happening? What you want to hear what you want to hear? I'm just clicking on the wrong buttons, child. Let me get this stuff set. What's been going on? I have y'all to know this is my normal tone. I'm not a person that's all, excited or bouncing off the wall. And then I'm also not, not a person that's too much more laid back than this. I'm just a laid back type of person. And well, although I could tell you that I've been in, I'm never in a. Only time I'm in a bad mood is someone changes my mood. So not in a bad mood. Now I'm in a weird mood. Y'all know what a weird mood is? Henley, okay. You say it was set up? Okay, okay. Well, I got the paperwork. Um, where is it? It's like, what up, smarter? So, let me, let me get a drink or something. I'm gonna try to get something going. Y'all know when it rains, it pours. And I tell you, it pours, and it pours. Oh, just put the pour. I can already tell. I am not going to. I should call this. What I do is, I know I'm not stressed eating. I think I'm not stressed. I just, maybe it's called comfort eating. Maybe that's what I'm doing. What I really want is a piece of cake, but I didn't want to waste y'all time and by cutting it and doing what I want to do to it. So I don't know if you guys eat this thing called Philadelphia cheesecake crumble. Strawberry, and it's just a regular one, but it all has like a graham cracker crumble. So listen, y'all, let me talk to y'all real quick about, I know we all have, yeah, we all have we all have our families and friends, and from time to time we, may have issues with them, right? And what sometimes happens, especially when it comes to families, you have an issue, and then all of a sudden, that issue creates an environment where you guys don't speak, right? You don't speak about it or what have you. You're real mad, you're going after each other. It's just you create such a dumb um, a dumb environment to where sometimes that one day may turn into 1 month, 1 month may turn into 1 year may turn into 2, then 5, then 10, and so on and so forth, right? I do know one big thing. Well, it would be a lot of people talking on YouTube. It's dry telling under the name of journalism. No, you telling. Sure. Right. And it creates such an awful, before you know it, right? That one little, well, it's big at the time, right? But it's actually small when you think about it. That issue turns into something. I probably shouldn't have came on here. That's probably what I shouldn't have done. But what I'm saying is that little issue, right, turns into a much bigger problem to where when something happens, now this family member don't want to talk to that family member, but you need to talk to that family member because something is going on. Or it could sometimes be even when it comes to death or something like that. Or someone's sick, or someone is experiencing something where you actually you just need to check and see if they're okay or what have you, but then you may be afraid to do that because you don't know how that would be perceived, and then you definitely don't want them to then to turn around to talk to somebody or call somebody else or whatever. Say, yeah, that bitch had the nerve to call me, and then make something out of, and so it puts everyone in a weird disposition because you really don't know what the fuck to do, right? You don't know whether, if your show of concern would be welcome or not, or then. And I'm not speaking about me, but am speaking about something I have experienced, and then and then something that have come about to where it's something I can't solve for anybody, right? So I don't have all the answers. I never portrayed myself as a person that does, but um, what happens is if two people or three people are going at it or at odds, whatever, that puts everybody in the middle um, in a situation where you don't know what to do. Because if you do one thing, that could offend the other. If you do something else, that could offend the other. And I don't know if and I'm probably talking this, I'm just going to be going around and around, but I just have to say this to somebody. It's like you don't know if their mental isn't set up to where they just couldn't um, accept the fact that it just is what it is. That there may be you may be in a time of need. I'm not saying that you need money or you need this, and you could just be in the time of need, right? But you or your friend or your sister or your brother, whatever, have created such an atmosphere where people may be scared to see if you need anything or just to check on you because what you don't know is that the people that are afraid to get in touch with you are worried that hell damn, maybe there is something that you know they could be doing or whatever, or they just want to satisfy their word that you are okay or that you have what you need or whatever, you know. And it's so and to me, when you get above the age of 25, it's just there is no need to create an atmosphere for yourself and for people over something that you don't even know what it was. And now it's this big old stupid issue. It's like we're not on this earth forever. And certainly you do know that the little short time that we're here, we're going to experience shit. I don't know. But I hate when I feel weird and then I'm so full to where I really shouldn't eat another nothing for days. But I mean, it's just the weirdest shit. It's like to me, at some point, you gotta do better. and not turn everything into some crazy situation, some type of opportunity or exploitation or whatever. And just when when people just want to know, are you okay, or is anything that type of shit. Like, and that's it. People are so weird. And sometimes you have to be the bigger person, the bigger person to receive that care, that concern, and what have you. And then also the bigger person to initiate that care and concern. Like, my God. So, okay, let me blow my nose, though. Give me 1 second. Pick work up. Okay, let me put this paperwork up. It is so. I just don't worry about it. Okay, it's 107 pages. Um, I'm not going to do any of that. But what I want to do is, well, let me give you some background. I'll give you re-up the names, and I can make it big. That's not what I wanted to do. I need to make, okay. We're talking about the people. Okay. All right. This affidavit is also made in support of warrants to search the following: The person of Henley, as described in the attachment A1, a black 2021 Mercedes registered to Henley and believed to be used by Henley, bearing California license plate, as described in attachment A2, Henley's residence at 4159 West 62nd Street, Los Angeles, Cali. Henley's residence. Yeah, okay. Robinson. He lives in California. You have Martin. He lives in California as well. Then you have the Business of Ex-Offender Fellowship Network, doing business as Developing Options and other names. So it says Developing Options, located at Crenshaw Boulevard. And it talks about the items to be seized. And I really wanted to get into the parts where well, let me read this. Let me read, see what they have for the background and all of that, right? Because I could really just talk about it, but let me just read the background. Yeah, you're right. Smarter. Yeah, the people's social skills did drop. You're absolutely right. It is so crazy. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're supposed to, if you're family, or you're supposed to, if you're actually family, or if you're supposed to be family, if you're friends, you're supposed to be cool or whatever, then you should be you should be um, you should have enough social skills and enough tools to be able to receive when someone is just checking on you or whatever, as well as be be a person in a right frame of mind and shit to be able to reach out and whatever. Or, or be that person that reach to the people, say, hey, I know y'all heard I'm okay, or what have you, anything, okay? So I wonder if Drake would be added somewhere along the way. Man, I had said that they were going to clean house. Like, I need to find me, I need to learn how to develop a taste for drugs or alcohol or something. Ooh, Jesus. I mean, God dang. And you know what I'm intimidated by? I'm intimidated by these sophisticated, highfalutin drinkers that I'm surrounded by, right? today. I'm ashamed of the little drink that I know how to make. It's not gonna get me drunk. It's not gonna really do nothing. It's just a nice taste to it. But the liquor choice, honey, it makes me feel like I'm a bum or something. You know, and that's the only liquor I want to put in it because that's the only liquor I know that it all of it goes together. You understand what I'm saying? I've made it like that for decades, and that's what I was taught to use. But I just feel like, I mean, these people they turn their nose up, child. You don't have at least $100 bottle of liquor, baby. You ain't doing nothing. That's something they just have. That's the bar liquor, $100 bar. You know, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, child. Oh, man. It's like, you know, I'm ashamed about a liquor to make the little mixed drink because I'm serious. I have had like, you know, for me to like to take part in the festivities. I've had my little, wine cooler or something, and I mean they like picked it up and like turn they nose up and stuff. And I'm like, oh my. And I get so sick of the fact that they sometimes I'm expected to be bougie and I don't know, turn my nose up. And no, 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 no. I'm not like that. That's what y'all expect. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not like that at all, honey. Baby, I will hang out in a trap. What are you talking about? I'm just saying, people, we got to do better. Like this is like all this strange behavior and shit like that. And money is not even necessary. I don't understand that. And for whatever, and if that's how your crazy activate or whatever, I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? But it's just really not that serious. There are much more serious things that happens. And as a nation of people, I hope that knows how to say, forget all that foolishness, right? How you doing? Is there anything I can do? You know, are you okay? Like, and are you gonna be receptive to it? Because a lot of times people won't even make the initial contact or whatever if they feel like you're gonna be on bullshit. And that's sad because how can someone turn someone just checking in whatever, and turn that on to be some bullshit? Like that's crazy. And you shouldn't make nobody feel like if they contacted you or whatever that you're going to make them feel that way, or they got to worry about, oh my gosh, what is going to be the backlash from this, something that it was so innocent, right? I had an aunt, and It could be some of the most innocent this show of this display of concern, or it could be somebody. It's just any kind of something innocent. And baby, before you know it, she is on the phone making it out to be something else. You be like, oh my God. I don't know if it was paranoia or what, but that is so weird. Like you can't live your life like that. That is weird. You will never keep nobody around. And God forbid something happens and you sit up. Oh, mm, okay. Let me get to this paperwork. Okay. Well, in February 2021, the FBI Los Angeles Metropolitan Task Force on Violent Gangs launched an investigation into Henley's criminal enterprise, the Big U Enterprise, and its association with the Rolling neighborhood Crips street gang, the Rolling 60s, which the LAMTFVG began investigating in August 2020. The Big U Enterprise is a mafia like organization that utilizes Henley's stature and long standing association with the Rolling 60s and other street gangs to intimidate businesses and individuals in Los Angeles. The Big U Enterprise is led by Henley. Henley is a self-admitted member and original gang OG of the Rolling 60s, a violent criminal street gang with associated sets in several other states. Henley is widely regarded as a leader within the Rolling 60s. First of all, that is incorrect because um, he has stated that he was never in the gang, and actually, allegedly, the gang was started by Chili, right? Which is his cousin Chili. He used to be around Chili. So when he was, you know, active in sports and stuff like that, he used to hang out with his cousin Chili. Chili, allegedly started a set of Rolling 60, right? And all this is alleged. In the 1980s, Henley rose to a prominent position in the Los Angeles drug and Rolling 60s hierarchies. First of all, he's nothing but 58. Okay, so how in the 80s he rose to a prominent position in the Los Angeles drug Rolling 60s hierarchies. Like, come on, let me see. Tim Mechanic is. Oh, man, I'm sorry, child. So that's oh child. Anyway, I know I ain't crazy. But keep in mind, right? This is the part of, let me see. Well, where is this written? Okay, yeah, this is in the investigation, right? This is the part that they have to prove. Okay, during this time, Henley also earned a reputation as an enforcer for the Rolling 60s. Some members of the Big U Enterprise are also members of the Rolling 60s. Henley is able to lead the Enterprise because of his standing as the face of the Rolling 60s for decades and his reputation for violence, including murder. At times, the Big U Enterprise partnered with members and associates of the Rolling 60s and other criminal elements for mutual benefit, but the Big U Enterprise is a distinct and independent criminal enterprise engaged in criminal activity. Members and associates of the Big U Enterprise are engaged in illegal activities including extortion, robbery, murder, human trafficking, wire fraud, bank fraud, other financial crimes, obstruction of justice, illegal debt collection, illegal gambling, conspiracy to commit fraud via illegal gambling, and other offenses in furtherance of the Big U Enterprise and for the benefits of its members and associates. As set forth in detail below, through the course of the investigation, agents gathered information from a variety of sources, including one, confidential human sources, two, certi- cer- certi- I know this word, surreptitious, okay, it's a repetitious recordings, including Title III wiretaps, which are, which is the omnibus. It says search warrants for social media, iCloud, and Google accounts. And the omnibus is just the wiretap act. Mark, that's all it is. Let's see, Title III wiretaps. Anytime you see Title III wiretaps, that pretty much means that um, they secured the wiretap based they the security of the wiretap, right? Which is supposed to um, not violate your rights and privacy and all of that, as well as it gives a list of rules and regulations of how the wiretap is to be conducted, right? So that it does not violate the law. That's pretty much what it is. It says financial records from both individuals and companies or organizations. Five, toll receipts showing communications between conspirators, victims, and Big U Enterprise members and associates. Six, cell site location information from numerous phones, including Henley's, Robinson's, Martin's, City of Los Angeles records, public filings, and other publicly available information, and eight, interviews of witnesses and victims. The investigation employed various additional investigative techniques, including surveillance, vehicle tracking, poll cameras, recording devices, interaction with confidential sources, and information gleaned through undercover purchases of firearms and narcotics. The United States District Court for the Central District of California authorized multiple Title III wire and electronic interception orders for telephones being used by certain subjects of the investigation, including Henley, Robertson, Martin, and Zaire Mitchell, aka Brick Baby. Y'all know who Brick Baby is, right? Y'all seen him on the different interviews. The court also authorized the interception of audio and visual nonverbal conduct via closed circuit television (CCTV) through the installation of video and audio bugs in a location. Whoa, I haven't read this. Since the inception of this investigation, the FBI, Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, Criminal Investigation, IRS/CI, United States Attorney Office for the Central District of California, North Las Vegas Police Department, NLVPD, Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, and other local agencies have interviewed more than 50 individuals, including subjects of the investigation, who agreed to voluntarily provide information. So they got some snitches, as discussed further below. Based on information learned from these individuals and other sources, FBI, state's attorneys, IRS/CI, SAs, um, NLVPD detective and LAPD detective requested and obtained additional search warrants and subpoenas. Below, I summarize the information and the evidence obtained thus far from these various investigative tools where relevant to the required complaint and warrants. The investigation remains ongoing. Wow, so they got so this is gonna be pretty bad. So we know that now. All right. Um, you drink and go to sleep. Yeah, this is going to be pretty bad, right? Because they have snitches, and undoubtedly, that there are people who probably were associates of the organization, or people that's in the organization, right? Maybe those who are members of the Rolling 60s, right? But again, I told you that you would, once you read an indictment, right? Well, I can tell. I can tell if there's information that was turned over due to an investigation, or it came about due to someone giving them the information, some sort of, somebody that snitched or what have you, right? And I can't wait till attorney Bruce, what is it, Bruce Rivers. He has that channel we be talking about, stop snitching and all of that, right? Because the snitching is it's just at an all-time high. It don't even make no damn sense no more. I don't even understand. You got self snitching, snitching, snitching for no reason, snitching for YouTube money. I just it is unreal. And I'm trying to tell you, there ain't no real gangsters on social media. They just don't do that. Some of these people that we see on social media have um have got trapped in what goes on online and stuff like that, and come out and give these interviews and talk and whatever and it sometimes it amounts to self-snitching. They do all this talking and they think that they can run back later and say it was for entertainment purposes only, or I was lying about it, or whatever, And here's the thing, or freedom of speech. But here's the thing, when you're talking about something that actually went down, don't think that. And here's the thing, right? You may have gotten away with it because you didn't say nothing. But if you start to say something and the people go to listening and put two and two together, and they start investigating you, and then they move that to interviewing you, then I mean you just fucked. Like I also understand. Like what is Vlad and them and no jumping them paying these people? I just don't get none of it. I don't get it, child. All right, there's some real probable cause. When I tell you, y'all, hold on, I don't mean to keep stopping. When they said, because again, I haven't read this, when they said how many names of the people from just YouTube alone that's wound up in this indictment, that's unreal. And then to know that Trap sent Adam, and Trap is over there in the UK. Trap sent Adam a something that was, I don't know if y'all seen this on No Jumper yet, where he's asking Wack, well, what is this about Henley, Lord, but Big U had Wack begging for his life and stuff like that, right? And so, and he's a white guy. I think Vlad. It's a lot of people's names have been mentioned in this shit. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of these people that is, that's doing these interviews and things of that nature. It's like that. This is crazy. Ain't nowhere in the hell. Ain't nowhere in the hell that I want to conduct a channel where the people is just on my, just sitting there and just observing my guests and the questions I ask and shit. Like, I don't want to be involved in shit like that. Hell. Shit. Hell. And people see that they can get money and the amount of money they can get out of that, they don't give a damn. But they don't. Let me go to reading because I get this started running my damn mouth and just talking. So, a summary of probable cause. Henley, Robinson, and Martin, and others, known and unknown, are members of the Big U Enterprise, a criminal organization whose members and associates engage in, among other things, murder, kidnapping, robbery, extortion, interstate transportation for the purposes of prostitution, bank fraud, wire fraud, embezzlement, and obstruction of the Big U Enterprise operates within the Central District of California and elsewhere. The Big U Enterprise, including its leaders, members, and associates, constituted. I'm sorry. I don't know why I don't know why I'm doing this tonight, but constituted An enterprise, as defined by Title 18 U.S.C. Section 1961-4, that is a group of individuals associated in fact, so you already know that's a RICO, that engaged in and the activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce. The Big U enterprise constituted an ongoing organization whose members and associates function as a continuing unit for a common purpose of achieving the purposes of the Big U enterprise. The purposes of the Big U enterprise include, but are not limited to, the following: enriching Big U enterprises members and associates by using the power and status of the Big U enterprise and Henley as an original gangster of the rolling 60s to commit extortion, robbery, fraud, and other crimes. Promoting, protecting, and expanding the power, reputation, and profits of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates through the use of intimidation, fear, violence, threats of violence, assaults, extortion, and murder. Using social media platforms, documentaries, podcasts, interviews, and Henley's reputation and status to create fame for the stoke fame for and stoke fear of the Big U enterprise, its members, and its associates. Financially enriching Big U enterprise members and associates by defrauding donors to nonprofit entities under the control of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates, including developing options. Financially enriching Big U enterprise members and associates by defrauding federal, state, and local agencies that award grants and other financial support to nonprofit entities under the control of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates, including developing options. Financially enriching Big U enterprises members and associates by defrauding mortgage lending businesses to make loans to employees of entities under the control of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates, including Unique Music Entertainment Inc., Unique Music, and in developing options. Gratifying Big U enterprise members and associates by trafficking and exploiting sex workers and concealing and protecting the illegal activities of the Big U enterprise and its members and associates from detection by law enforcement through means that included, among other things, witness tampering and obstruction of justice. Beginning no later than 2010 and continuing to the present in Los Angeles County within the Central District of California and elsewhere, Henley, Robinson, and Martin, each being a person employed by and associated with the Big U enterprise, an enterprise engaging in the activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly and intentionally conspired to violate Title 18 U.S.C. Code Section 1962C, that is, to conduct and participate directly and indirectly in the conduct of the affairs of the Big U enterprise through a pattern of racketeering as that term is defined in Title 18 U.S.C. Section 1961-1 and 1961-5, which pattern of racketeering consisted of multiple acts involving murder, chargeable under Nevada revised statute sections, what is that, 200.010, 200.030, 193.330, 193.153, 195.20, 020, I'm sorry, 199.480, and 199.490. Kidnapping chargeable under Nevada revised statute sections. Okay, we get the gist of a robbery, extortion, well, the codes, conspiracy, talk about murder, violence. As part of the big U enterprises reported control of Los Angeles individuals, including professional athletes, musicians, and other intending to conduct certain types of business in Los Angeles, including both legitimate business and illicit criminal conduct, were required to check in with Henley prior to traveling to Los Angeles or engaging in certain activities to obtain protection from the Big U enterprises while in Los Angeles. Henley hosted a podcast called Check In, the opening theme song of which explained when you hop off the plane, check in. Penthouse suite, check in. When your feet hit the street, check in. Cause if not, shit gets hot. You better check in. The check-in included both a payment to the Big U Enterprise as well as requesting permission from Henley to conduct certain activities, including acts of violence that were sanctioned by the Big U Enterprise. Let me turn this way so I can see. Let's see it better. As Henley described in a documentary film that he produced about his life titled Hip Hop Uncovered, and it wasn't just him, it was some more people that participated in that documentary because it was a documentary about, other people as well. If I don't pick up the phone, that can mean death for somebody. As Henley stated in the Nothing to Something podcast, you're going to check in. You could choose not to, and it's going to be a problem. If you choose not to check in, you suffer the consequences. You feel like you got something bigger than what's there, and that not checking in is basically an act of war. It ain't not it ain't not one human being who not gonna check in. And let me see. Okay, I was looking at this footnote. While members and associates of the Big U Enterprise use Henley and the Big U Enterprise history and reputation to control Los Angeles through violence, fear, and intimidation. Henley simultaneously attempted to create an air of legitimacy for the Big U Enterprise by promoting himself as a reformed gang member focused on bettering his community through purported nonprofit organizations he founded, such as Developing Options, and by soliciting donations from celebrities and grants from government and foundations to these charitable organizations. And let me tell you what they did on the press conference the Popo did. Let me tell you what they did. They said that um, Big U, Eugene, or Eugene, whatever you want to call him, Big U, had a long history of crime. That ain't the truth. Well, he did, I think he did with 13 or 10 years or something like that, all the way back, like in the 90s. Like what? Like these people, yeah, child. Y'all, what y'all said? Angie can switch so many goddamn hats so quick. I know that's right. Hey, it is what it is, baby. So, um, what was in in actuality, Henley and other members and associates of the BU enterprise use these purported nonprofit entities to enrich and further the objectives of the Big U enterprise, including by embezzling funds meant as charitable donations to the nonprofit entities, using the nonprofit entities to fraudulently apply for government assistance and loans, and using the nonprofit entities to falsify employment and financial records to personally benefit members and associates of the Big U enterprise. Members and associates of the Big U enterprise would discipline other members and associates who acted in ways seen as detrimental to the Big U enterprise, or other individuals who were seen as disrespecting the Big U enterprise or its members, including through threats and acts of violence such as assault, kidnapping, and murder. Members and associates of the Big U enterprise would avoid detection by law enforcement by, among other activities, attempting to thwart and evade law enforcement surveillance, destroying video surveillance or other evidence, and threatening to otherwise pressuring victims or witnesses of crimes committed by members or associates of the Big U enterprise to avoid interaction with or to provide untruthful statements or testimony to law enforcement officers. In sum, there is probable cause to believe that, in furtherance of the Big U enterprise, Henley kidnapped and murdered victim R.W., which is Rayshawn Williams, in Las Vegas, in retaliation for perceived disrespect to the Big U enterprise, and endeavored to conceal that murder with other Big U enterprise members and associates. Henley, Robinson, Martin, and Williams committed and arranged robberies to enrich the Big U enterprise. Further, the extortions committed by the Big U enterprise and to create the impression that the Big U enterprise controlled Los Angeles. Henley, Robinson, and Martin extorted individuals in Los Angeles for purported protection when such protection was actually from violence committed by the Big U enterprise itself. Henley and F. FUEDS, I don't know that. I don't know how to pronounce that. Applejack? Applejack? Hold on, let me use the restroom real quick while I stop right there. Let me see how much more I got. I mean, that's just page. That's a statement of probable cause. Okay. Trying to get an idea where I'm gonna stop here. Hold on. Y'all, hey, I was able to finally listen to the damn residuals, like listen to the words and stuff. Yeah, he did kill that. Go ahead on R. Kelly. I was just happy that it was confirmed that it was real. So I shared it. It was like the news said they got in touch with um his attorney and they said he did do it. I was like, go ahead on R. Kelly. Go ahead on. I was like, yes. And people are like, damn, like it's almost like all is forgiven and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do they support uh, him? Uh, him maybe not being locked down or whatever for his alleged crime. And I know that's right, honey. He was sung that song. Okay, so Henley and FJ arranged for the interstate transportation of individuals to engage in prostitution for Henley and bigger enterprise members. Wow. Henley defrauded various companies, donors, athletes, and celebrities into providing donations to the Big U Enterprise charities, only to transfer those donations to his own personal bank accounts for personal use. And when they're talking about, we got to see what they're talking about. When they're talking about um, prostitution, because it could be them parties. You understand what I'm saying? And having those women go to those damn parties. Now, can the law look at it in, as prostitution? Well, it depends on were there transactions. What was the activity? Was there any agreement? Was there any perceived agreement? Shit like that. My God. I mean, they are criminalizing sex and parties now. So add parties in there. Damn. Henley fraudulently obtained funding from the City of Los Angeles Mayor's office through the Gang Reduction Youth Program Foundation, portions of which receive federal funding. And again, y'all, for those who don't know how states are funded for things that have to do, well, I'll say programs that have to do with um, immigration or homelessness or hunger, some medical assistance, things of that nature. It comes through some of those state programs are subsidized through federal funding. Healing defrauded, and also like little uh, organizations, like several different organizations. It just depends on what the organizations are for, right? And or if they are like summer programs that have an element where they give like free food and stuff like that. Yeah, that could be something that is federally subsidized. Henley defrauded and attempted to defraud the Small Business Administration (SBA) for loans that benefited the Big U enterprise. To enrich Blanton, a Big U enterprise associate who purported to work for the Big U Enterprise charitable organization, Henley, Martin, Blanton, and Hines committed bank fraud by submitting a fraudulent mortgage application, and Henley, Robertson, and Martin and other members and associates of the Big U Enterprise attempted to obstruct investigations into and conceal the above referenced crimes committed on behalf of the Big U Enterprise. Statement of probable cause. Unless otherwise noted below, the knowledge of the facts summarized herein is based on my training and expertise in my discussion with other investigators and my review of the law, enforcement reports, search warrant, and subpoena returns, Title III wiretap interceptions, public domain interviews, to include YouTube and podcast interviews, and docuseries, electronic and other written communication, interviews of certain individuals and City of Los Angeles records, and other publicly available documents. Seems like I already read this. Okay, let me. me get to the part. They talking about whack is mentioned in here. Ain't nobody in here. You know who. So this is what I really want to get to. Shit. Here, oh, this is way along page 51. I would have been on stop reading before I got to this. Let me read. Okay. Okay. Robbery in violation of the Hobbs Act and racketeering activity. According to witnesses, including victim one, and corroborated repeated by the wiretap and recorded meetings with Big U Enterprise members, the Big U Enterprise set up and executes robberies throughout. I'm getting upset. According to witnesses, including victim one, and corroborated repeatedly by the wiretap and recorded meetings with Big U Enterprise members, the Big U Enterprise setups and executes robberies throughout Los Angeles. Normally, Henley provides the target and location while the robbery is committed by the Big U Enterprise or at the Big U Enterprise direction or at the Big U Enterprise direction using the Rolling 60s or other associates. The Big U Enterprise, as well as the individuals who personally commit the robberies, will take a cut and then often sell the robbery proceeds or give the robbery proceeds back to a victim as a power grab and to instill fear of future robberies or violence. I think that this is what that dude, um, Loose Cannon, was talking about when he was in there talking to Wag and Adam. I believe he is one of the ones that. When did they pick him up? I think maybe he was the one that was talking. Listen, Henry directs a robbery of and conspires, to rob and hold on. Henley directs a robbery of and conspires to rob, and Robinson and Williams personally rob a marijuana dispensary at gunpoint. One such robbery occurred on July 5th, 2021, at an unlicensed marijuana dispensary in Los Angeles where victim one worked. Leading up to the robbery, the Big U Enterprise had been extorting victim one for years, and victim one had been paying the Big U Enterprise up to $25,000 per month when victim one was at the top of his earning capacity. Shortly before the robbery, however, victim one had ceased paying extortion to the Big U Enterprise as victim one did not believe it was necessary or that he was receiving any benefit from the payments. On the day of the robbery, approximately 11 of the Big U Enterprises members and associates, including Robinson and Williams, both of whom victim one knew well as Roland 60 members rushed into the dispensary armed with firearms and without masks. They demanded belongings of anyone inside and stole cash and marijuana from the store before fleeing. At one point, they demanded a Rolex watch from one of the co-owners, but at Robinson's direction, they ended up letting him keep it. According to victim one, while still at the dispensary, the robbers put victim one on the phone with Henley, who invited victim one to Henley's home. Wow. According to victim one, when victim one arrived at Henley's Arlington premises, Robinson, Williams, and other robbers were there, as were the proceeds of the robbery. Inside, Henley told victim one, "That's how you rob yourself." Henley then demanded $10,000 from victim one to ensure other robberies did not occur. Yeah, that's exactly what Loose Cannon said. So he must be victim one. And that's why he probably cooperated, allegedly. So Henley told victim one, "That's how you rob yourself." Henley then demanded $10,000 from victim one to ensure other robberies did not occur. So that's what Luke Cannon said. Luke Cannon said had happened on one occasion. Henry also directed victim one to identify other businesses or dispensaries that could be similarly robbed and assured victim one that Big U Enterprise would compensate him for identifying any robberies. Henley then provided a portion of the robbery proceeds back to victim one. We went to this robbery and the aftermath on a podcast on the No Jumper part. Yes, this is right. On the No Jumper podcast after stating that Williams was Henley's right hand man. Williams explained, so basically he manipulated things. We'll go and do something and then the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later as we trying to count everything, and we be like, how the fuck? Williams then said that Henley would state, well, we just going to give like 40,000 back. Whack 100, who is a rival counterpart of Henley's for the Bloods, was also on the podcast and stated, ooh, oh, y'all hear that? They identified Wack as a Blood. You can't make this shit up. Mm-mm-mm. Hold on, let me get the rest of it. Hold on. Now, unless shit done got different. If they can identify you and your role in a gang, they're going to investigate you. And if they cannot connect you to any crimes, they leave your ass alone. But that usually is not done without bringing your ass in to see what you know. If you know anything, like maybe anything with regards to this particular situation or anything else that you may know that you might can tell them to assist them in another investigation. That's how that works. Now, unless they done change, maybe they have gotten, you know, they have started just sitting back, watching people that they can identify as a gang member and not question them about anything. Understand, identifying people is it's hard enough. Then to sit there and watch them and shit and not try to get no intel from them. I mean, like when they start doing, what is going on? Like it is something going on. I don't even want to read no more. It is something going fucking on. But I'm gonna read some more. Like when they started sitting back and identifying gang members and not, you know, do nothing. Just let them go. Don't ask no questions. Says Wack, who is a rival counterpart of Henley's for the Bloods, was also on the podcast and stated, you know why he wanted to give the dude back the 40, right? Because he was going to make the dude give him 20 for getting it back. Williams then agreed, of course. He did that too. Two famous rappers. Williams then detailed demanding $50,000 from the celebrity rapper RR, but I think that's Rick Ross, or they would kill the celebrity rapper Meek Mills. Oh yeah. Williams then said Rick Ross dropped off the 50,000 and Henley stopped answering the phone and then did not share any of the proceeds with Williams. According to further No Jumper and Vlad TV segments, Henley then served a cease and desist order on No Jumper, and this podcast episode was removed from the platform, although a recording of the episode remained available elsewhere online. Whoa. Uh, Let me read this footnote. It says, as stated below, Victim One's account is cooperated in a consensually recorded conversation in which Henley and Robinson asked for robbery targets from Victim One. This modus operandi is corroborated by wire interceptions in which Henley discusses robbing drug dealers of only half of their product or proceeds. Oh, I gotta go put this together. Recounting of this robbery occurred years after the robbery of Victim One's dispensary and years after Victim One had already recounted and documented the robbery for the FBI. Hold on, hold on. Okay. Sims continues to commit and discuss robberies and other violent acts. Lately, Williams has claimed in multiple interviews that he is no longer affiliated with Big U, whom he now refers to as Big Useless or Big Uterus. However, Williams continues to discuss former bigger enterprise business to discuss and threaten violent assaults and robberies and to actually commit the same. For example, on January 3rd, 2025, outside of the No Jumper podcast filming location in Los Angeles, Williams struck a victim in the head multiple times with the firearm and pointed the firearm at the back of his head, while two other suspects removed valuables from the victim, including jewelry, cash, and a cell phone, in excess value of $5,000. The victim lost consciousness during the incident, which was captured on a video and posted to social media, apparently to stoke fear and boast of Williams' penchant for violence. After the incident, Williams posted a 7-minute video on his YouTube channel discussing the beating, stating that he used to be the useless enforcer, that he loves to fight, and that the incident could have went a lot worse. Williams' post also played a portion of the assault. Similarly, on February 25th, 2025, Williams posted a video on his YouTube channel in which he threatened anyone that is at odds with him to do something bad to you, your mama, your daddy, anybody. In that same video, Williams walked through the checking in process and walked through the fact that he would rob any celebrity who did not check in, including at an Airbnb, a restaurant, a car wash, or anywhere. Williams also said that he was with Henley when rapper Rakim Hashim Allen, aka PNB Rock, was robbed and killed, that they told him to comply and that they would get the jury later. Well, Williams also walked through the kidnapping of a famous rapper that Williams and Henley committed together, and then discussed several big U Enterprise associates being good in Los Angeles because they have checked in. Some of them mentioned were developing option donors or former NBA players who have provided hundreds of thousands of dollars as reported gifts to Henley personally. Let me see. In February 2025, Williams also took part in a filmed conversation with multiple people on YouTube in which Williams told another participant that you will lose your life. And then when Williams found him, Williams was going to do something bad to him. Further evidence of the Big U Enterprises involvement in robberies. Throughout this investigation, the FBI obtained many reports of the, I don't do this right now because I feel like I'm just not into it. It's not into this. So, get my titles together. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, y'all make sure I can stuff for somebody else. Better day, good day, tomorrow, better day. And yeah, y'all just think about what I said. You never know when it is your last day upon this earth, and we need to learn how to treat each other better, especially our friends and our family, right? Because the next time you see them, you don't want it to be a situation where it's only one of you looking at the other, right? And you definitely don't want to wait when they could possibly need just a kind word, or to hear your voice, or to see your face, or something like that, right? That's something that you just play around with. I don't know what the process is when it comes to wanting to make enemies, right? That has never been a thing of mine. That's probably why I have so many friends. But I am happy that I do have the friends I have, even the ones out here. Um, like I said, I got a hot team, which is fine with me. So, um, so yeah. So anyway, just why is it saying 8? Oh no, okay, no, I'm looking at two different times. But yeah. Anyway, just think about what I said because it ain't worth it, right? Like I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know why people invest their time into making enemies, right? When making friends is so much better and keeping them. Don't fumble your friends, don't fumble your loved ones, don't fumble your family, don't fumble your non-traditional family, whatever. That's not something I do. All right. Now, somebody fumble me, that's just what it is, but that usually don't happen because I deal with smart people um, that want to have good people in their corner. That's how most people are wired out. Let me say it like that. Some people, I, I don't know. I don't know about some people. I don't know about some people. I can just tell you about myself and the people that I'm accustomed to, and my friends and family. We like we love each other. We love being around good people. We love keeping good people. It just makes sense. It makes life fun and better and what have you. I have never had a good time with an enemy. I've never had a good time with a bad person. Right? So it's just but yeah, try being kind, you know. But anyway, hey, is what it is and I am out of here. Bye.